So Royce Heath, Paul Netto, I'm sure you remember Ed Merrill.
And it's good to see you again.
Nice to be back here. Very nice to see you again.
Sorry about the little delay in time.
Hey, not a problem.
Excuse me, do you mind if I just interrupt briefly? Did you have a decision or a motion to be made after your executive session?
We checked out of our executive session with no action, and we gone into another one with no action. We've chosen to pull both of those until Monday's meeting.
Thank
We
you.
have a full board here.
Thank you. Next Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you guys for your patience. And
Sean, you push
Mike,
it.
would you like to take over again, or would you like me to?
Yeah, Royce.
Thank you.
Actually, I already did introduce Ed Merrill, and I think Ed Merrill has the floor right now.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ed.
Okay, that's okay. I didn't realize that. First, we received a letter from the board for the request for the funds that's in the current franchise, and so I brought that check here, and just wanted to remind you that you could use this check, which is for $4,000, for even though the franchise has wording in it that says to be used for the equipment to put the
Camera system and
yeah,
cameras
or
and equipment.
a bulletin board channel on. You can use it for the construction or whatever it is to get that you need to get that channel on.
Okay.
So that was, we wanted to get that done because that was part of this current franchise, and this franchise ends on December 18th of this year.
Okay, thank you.
Along with that, here is the, want to pass that around. Here is the bill of materials and design to actually put a channel up and running. This does not include the camera equipment that you need. This actually will construct the system and have the equipment that you would plug your cameras into in order to get the channel on the air, and this would be on channel 26. So the town would have the channel, you would manage the channel, whatever programming that goes on there would be based on and managed by the town. And you can see that the electronics are the more expensive portion. That we have fiber that runs pretty close to this building right here that we'd be able to plug into, and that would bring us back to Rochester. So that's not an expensive part of the bid, just the electronics to do that. So I've got a couple more.
Okay.
Here.
I don't know, we've had a question come up about the possibility of having a remote camera to use. I understand there'd probably be quite a difference in cost between one that could only be used in the building as opposed to one that could go out, say, around the town, per se.
So
To other
were you involved, I don't remember, with the fellow who sold the equipment to Milton?
No,
Okay.
but it's basically the same group that supports most of the other small towns that we're in, and they would, what I would recommend, and I could put you in touch with them, is they would come in and talk about what your needs are. They'd take a look at the building and they'd give you recommendations on what to do. The majority of the towns that we're in that have that cover their meetings, not just the Board of Selectmen, but the other meetings if they're in the same room, have fixed cameras. So the cameras always, you'll always get the same the same look. It's what's important is that that you're getting the message out. It's not about close-ups or anything like that. It'd be like a couple different angles, and then there's other towns or the bigger cities actually have either volunteers or paid people to come in and actually handle the cameras that are there. So they're not the smaller remote cameras that you have, but you actually have a camera person that comes in. It's usually either a 1 or 2 person shoot, and like I said, many of the towns get volunteers to do that. Some of the towns pay the people to come in and cover those meetings.
Is that a change we could make later on if we needed?
Absolutely.
Okay,
You can, I mean,
so.
you'll see when the people come in from the camera group, they do this, they set these small town video cameraing and channel systems up
Okay,
and constantly do it. So it's pretty much built to so that it will grow with the town. It's scalable, and it's what you want. So what our design does here is it gets this building onto the network, so that it's an origination point. If there's some, if you want to do it, say, from a high school or something like that, then there'll be construction costs and there'll be, electronics so that you'd be able to get it from another point, another origination point.
okay,
But this is from, what we're giving you here is from this, the town hall building now.
okay. All right, so that just, basically that will set us up to cover this room
That's right.
and that's it.
And, well, it will cover our electronics, would make it possible for you to plug any other room in this building on, if there was.
Okay.
So this room, if you
Right.
wanted another
In other
room.
words, we would physically put another camera in another room and tie it to this system.
Yes.
Okay,
So this building would become an origination point.
right, okay. Well, I think that answers that question for now, other than if we had a rough idea of what a camera in another room would cost, but.
I can, if you want me to make the arrangements to have a meeting for them to come out and, meet with you, the company that does the camera.
Why don't we do that, and we can set up, you can actually call Sue and set up
Okay.
during a regular, usually a Monday meeting or something like that.
And they'll come up with a couple options for you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great, but this, separate from this, we can, tonight we'll just talk about what we have here. Okay, sounds good. We just need to know if the option was available.
Okay.
So, I guess, is there any questions from the public here tonight on this? No, we've talked some of it over. Dana?
Is there a possibility of wireless feed to this building?
No, we would have to have a hard fiber connection to the building.
Right.
No, I meant from a remote, wireless.
I'm not
There's
sure.
something here that could pick up and feed into your cable.
That's something we should probably ask
Yeah, the
these
people,
other people when they come and talk to us.
wireless has come a long way, and so
Yeah.
there's probably that option there.
Yeah.
I actually have a question too.
Could you just state your name for the record?
My name is Deborah Wilson, Lebanon Maine Truth Seekers on Facebook. You want my email, my phone number? No. My question is in regards to, I believe that the discussion on the check amount was $4,000, correct?
Yes.
And this bill of materials summary is for just the project without the video equipment.
That's right.
And this is for $6,157.25.
Yes.
So already, minus the generous donation, which we do appreciate, I just want to be clear on the video because no amounts have been stated. So already, without even the cameras, this would cost the town $2,157.25 before video cameras. That's what it would cost the taxpayers, correct?
If you went with this.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, if we make changes, it'll probably cost more.
Right, cost. Oh, I see what you're saying. It would cost more, not less, correct?
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is the franchise, correct?
No, this is not the franchise. This is to,
Let's talk about the franchise for a minute, because we're up for financial renewal,
right.
okay? This is a project to put this to go on channel 26, you said?
26.
26, okay?
Correct.
That has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does. Please,
That-
Mike, don't confuse me.
It does.
This-
Those dollars right there are, if you're going to start a channel, then you would ask for an equipment grant from us, which you did.
Yeah.
And we pay you the $4,000. That $4,000 in the franchise states that it's for the equipment.
That's what
for a
I meant,
bulletin
I'm
board,
sorry.
yeah, for a
Yeah, that's
bulletin
what I
board.
Right.
But
So that's what they're for.
you know, we're not looking, MetroCast is not looking at that strict interpretation. If you wanted to use those dollars to help build the system, you could. You wouldn't have to just use those dollars to buy the equipment to connect to the system. So it's whatever. But the town would be responsible for this amount.
For this amount.
For this.
Whether we use that check for video cameras or whether we use
As far
that
as
check
I'm
for
concerned,
this,
Yeah, that check is.
it's,
that check
but
is-
so if we took that 4,000 and applied it only to this, we'd still be without video cameras and we would still owe MetroCast $2,157.25 just for wiring and getting everything ready for cameras, correct?
That's correct.
And then the purchase of the cameras on top of it, correct?
That's correct.
So, what would be your pleasure then, Mike, as the person that's kind of been spearheading this? Would you be looking for an appropriation through the budget committee in order to fund cameras? Would you? Because my concern is only a fixed camera, as I talked to you a little bit about prior. Because a lot of our board meetings and committee meetings, and Dana and I had a chance to speak with Marcy outside here. She just happened in. Five identifiable boards and committees are meeting at the library. So, who do we pick and choose? Do we only do the Board of Selectmen's meetings? What if something's happening in planning board? I mean, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right the first time.
I think they
You
have
know
on
what I'm
different
saying?
nights anyway, right? So you could, planning boards are on Thursday nights, Board of Selectmen is typically on Monday nights.
Typically, you never know. It all depends on private people's schedules, what night it's going to be on, and sometimes it's in the treasurer's office, sometimes it's in here.
When does the budget committee meet, on Tuesdays,
Budget committee meets on Wednesdays,
Wednesdays? So you got 3 different days there.
and cemetery committee meets on the first Wednesday. What were some of the other ones you're saying that might like to access this? Would be like the PTO, who meets at the library and stuff. So my question has been right along, I understand $4,000 and this is $6,157. So we need to find an appropriation of $2,157 and 25
If you
cents
apply that to this.
just for general purposes right this minute. If you applied that to this, there's still a shortage of $2,157.25. So we'd have to find that money somewhere, and I don't know where you're planning on taking that from.
I think that.
Plus the money for the
You're
video
discussing
cameras.
something out now that we haven't had a chance to discuss amongst ourselves.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
we need to stop it here.
Okay.
If that's okay?
Yeah, that's
We're gonna
fine,
stop
but
right
can I
here.
get an answer to that sometime soon, sometime
We'll
shortly?
give you an answer as soon as we can.
Okay, appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Okay, any other questions?
I do, if I could
Okay.
take a minute on a different subject.
Certainly.
The last time we were here, you made us aware that the select board had a limit of 3 years for contracts.
Yes.
Now, is our franchise, which is really a right-of-way agreement, different than a contract? Would it be looked at differently? And in some of the towns where we do business, we actually have a franchise ordinance. Would that be different as far as the term? Because the reason we're asking that is the term that we're going to all renewals on are 10 years. A 10-year renewal allows us to make our plans on investment and continue to invest into the system based on that term. So when we go to the bank to get our dollars to continue to upgrade the systems, they're looking at these terms.
So far, I haven't heard the official answer on this, or even an unofficial one. So I think that's one we gotta get back to you on. I'm sorry to hold you up on
No
this, but
problem.
yeah, I think we had to, we were checking in a
We'd
lead
have
at
to
one
put it on
point,
the
and I don't remember what we had for an answer.
Just for you, explain why, excuse me, why it's so important.
If our recommendation is if the limit is 3 years, and that's what you have, and we're going into our franchise renewal period, then what we would recommend is that we would just extend the current franchise that we have for 3 years until we can come back and get something longer. So we'd be requesting just an extension on the franchise that we currently have.
That's something we're just gonna have to get back to you on.
Okay?
Yeah, because I haven't heard the official answer, to be honest with you. Okay, and by the way, again, thank you very much for this. The town of Lebanon really does appreciate this. It's quite a bit of help towards getting our camera system.
Okay.
Which we desperately need.
Okay.
Joyce,
How many customers are in Lebanon?
It was just over 1,000 customers.
1,000 customers, okay. And I wind up with a bill from, I think it's Maine, but yet the main state, the real headquarters is Rochester, correct?
That's a primary headquarters, but our main systems go through the Sanford office, Sanford main office.
So the feed would go into Sanford?
No, the feed would go directly from our fiber here back to our main origination point, which is in Rochester.
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Believe me, one hand knows what the other one's doing in those offices.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lebanon was a transition town, I guess we call it. We had the same issues with telephones way back when. I remember that personally. And the person a half a mile up the road from me was on Sanford, I was on New Hampshire, so that sort of thing.
Mhm.
I think the companies have all done well to come out the way we have so far on this stuff. Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, I am gonna make a motion that we accept this check from MetroCast towards our new camera system. Do I have a second on that?
You got it.
All right. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we took your money and we'll give you an answer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you very much.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
You too.
Okay, now you want a motion, Joyce?
So I want a motion. Have we got any other business?
Well, you don't know, you didn't ask.
Have we got any other business?
Dana? I think we're good.
No, seconded.